Hi guys, this is Karthik. In this video, I'll be sharing you my approach to the problem C. So the problem statement here was pretty clear. We were given an array and what we wanted to do was delete elements from this array so that the size of the array reduces to 1. Size should reduce to 1, and how can we delete the elements? If we have two elements, two adjacent elements, ai and ai plus 1, and if ai is less than ai plus 1, you can simply delete either ai or you can delete ai plus 1, right? So whenever you see two adjacent elements which are like ai and ai plus 1, and if the element at left, that is ai, is smaller than the next element, then you could delete either of the two elements. And once you have deleted some element, let's say ai, then the left portion of the array and the right portion of the array get concatenated with each other. So for example, you have this 1, 3 and 2. From this you can delete, you can clearly see that 1 is less than 3. So you can delete either 1 or 3. So if you choose to delete 1, then you're left with the following array, 3 and 2. Whereas if you choose to delete 3, then you are left with this array. In this case, if you choose to delete 1, then you're left with the array 3 and 2, and you can clearly see that 3 is greater than 2, so you cannot choose any further elements to delete, right? Whereas in this case, 1 is less than 2, so you can choose to delete either of the two elements, right? If you choose to delete 2, you read this, and if you choose to delete 1, you read this array. But the point is, there does exist a way in which you could delete elements so that your size of the array becomes equal to 1, and that is the exact problem. I'll be sharing my approach now. I'll just take an example to make my approach more clear, and then I'll prove it. Alright, so let's see this array. Given that you have these two elements, 2 and 4. Now the claim here is that you should always delete 4 out of these two, right? Why is that so? I will be proving it, but the claim I will make is that you should always delete 4. Alright, so once you delete 4, you will read the array 2, 6, 1, 3, 5. Now again, my claim here will be that out of 2 and 6, you should always choose to delete 6. From here you will read the array 2, 1, 3 and 5. Now you can no longer follow the operation on the first two elements, right? Because 2 is greater than 1. Now you can do the same operation on 1 and 3. And now I claim that you should keep the element which is higher in value, right? Here before I was making the claim, when you're looking at the first two elements, I was making the claim you should always delete the element which is greater, right? So you should always delete the second element. But now I am making the claim that if there is any element to the left that is yet to be deleted, then out of the two elements on which you can perform the operation, you should always delete the smaller one. So if you do that, you will be left with 2, 3, 5. Now you can complete that operation on 2 and 3, and again the same claim that you should always keep the element which has lower value, so you keep 2, and 2 and 5 you reach 2, and therefore since we just followed a way to delete elements and reached a single element array, so this means that a way does exist. Now I'll prove you why the deletion steps were optimal, or why they are the best possible way steps to delete. So imagine you have this array a1, a2, a3 and so on till an, right? Now imagine that you can do an operation on a1 and a2, right? So this means that A1 is definitely less than A2, right? So if you choose to delete A1, then you will be left with the array A2, A3, so until an. This is considering that obviously A1 is less than A2 and you can perform an operation on A1 and A2. So if you choose to delete A1, you will be left with this array, whereas if you choose to delete A2, you will be left with this array. Out of these two arrays, I will prove that this array A1, A3, An always has a better chance to reduce to a single element compared to this array. And why is that so? So consider the case in which A2 and A3 you can still perform the same operation, right? So it might be possible that on A2 and A3 you can perform the operation. This means that A2 is less than A3. But if A2 is less than A3, then A1 is definitely less than A3, and this means that even on these two elements you can perform the operation, right? So this would prove that going this side, you have more potential chance of like getting to delete more elements, because in this if you go here, then it might be possible that A2 is in fact greater than A3 and then you are unable to delete A3. But if you go this side, A1 was less than A2 and there is a much better chance than that A1 will be less than A3, because if A2 is less than A3, then A1 is definitely less than A3. But even if A2 is greater than A3, even then A1 can be less than A3, and for the leftmost element of the array, I want it to be as small as possible so that I'll be able to perform more and more operations. So this was one of the claims. So given two elements that are at the left side of the array, that means A1 and A2, or the first and the second element of your array, if you're able to perform the operation, you should always keep the smaller of the two elements, that is the first element. Now the second thing. Now imagine that you are thinking about two elements AI and AI plus 1, and let's say that AI is not the first element of your array. So you're looking at some array, something like A1, A2, AI and AI plus 1, right? And on AI and AI plus 1 you can perform the operation. I'll just keep another element here, AI minus 1. Now since you've reached this position, this means that on AI minus 1 and AI you were not able to perform your delete operations. This means that AI minus 1 was definitely greater than AI. Now if AI minus 1 was greater than AI, now here you can perform an operation on AI and AI plus 1. If you want to reach to a single element, you should basically, there should come a point where you have these elements AI and AJ, so that AI is less than AJ. Only then will you be able to reduce this array, right? But if there is no element that that is basically greater than AI minus 1 to the right of it, then this means you will never be able to reduce your array to a single element. Now among these two, AI is less than AI plus 1, right? Now if I choose to retain AI, then I am sure about one thing, that I will never be able to perform the operation on AI minus 1 and AI, because clearly that AI minus 1 is greater than AI, so I cannot perform the operation. But if I do choose to retain AI plus 1, then there is a chance that I will have the elements AI minus 1 and AI plus 1, and AI plus 1 might just exceed AI minus 1. So having such a combination, I will have a greater chance that I will be able to perform that operation. So the point here is that it might be possible that AI plus 1 is greater than AI minus 1, and then you can perform that operation. And even if it is not, there is still a possibility that in the future AI plus 1 AI, and after I performed the operation on AI and AI plus 1 and I retained AI plus 1, it is possible that there is another element AI plus 2 and it is greater than AI plus 1, and it is even greater than AI minus 1, right? So after some operations, there is a potential chance that I will reach some element AJ which will finally be greater than AI minus 1, and finally I will be able to perform an operation of delete. And if I would have gone the other way and kept AI instead of AI plus 1, then I would have always been stuck at AI minus 1 and AI, and I would have reached nowhere, because AI minus 1 will always be greater than AI, and my array size is always going to be at least 2. So if I want to reach the size 1, I will perform the operation and retain the larger of the two elements, so that maybe after some time I will be able to delete AI minus 1. So with these two intuitive proofs of what element to delete and when, that is the entire solution. So to summarize, uh, among the leftmost elements, if you are able to perform an operation, you should retain the smaller element. And in the array, if you are not able to perform the operation on the leftmost elements, then among the other elements where you are finally able to perform an operation, you should always retain the larger element. So retain larger and retain smaller element here. So that's it. I'll be showing you my code quickly, and it's quite simple. It's the implementation of the same idea. Yeah. Oh, this is the implementation for D. Yep. So yeah, so I've kept a stack of elements. The stack basically denotes the elements I haven't deleted yet. Initially, my stack will be having the starting element of my array, and one by one more elements will come, and I will check whether the top of the stack is less than vi. That means, can I perform an operation? So the new element coming in is vi. Can I perform an operation on v0 and vi? If I can, I'm going to retain the smaller of the elements here. Given that if the size of my stack is exactly 1, then I'm going to retain the smaller of the elements. However, if the size of the stack is greater than 1, then as discussed, this means that there are more elements below this. So this will be some maybe vj, and there are some other elements maybe vk down there. So if there are more than one element in the stack already, then among the two elements, if I'm able to perform the operation, I will keep the larger of the elements. If I'm if there is just one element in the stack, I will keep the smaller of the two, and that's it. At the end, I'm going to check if the stack size is 1. That means I've reduced my array to size 1. Then I will print a yes. And if at the end my stack size is not 1 and it's greater than that, then I will print a no. So that is it. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If you liked the idea and the approach, do like and subscribe.